Hi, hi guys. My name is Ethan. I'm gonna talk about the story of how God made Pharaoh let the people go. So there was a man named Moses, and then he was a baby, and then a girl put her in the basket and put her in the stream, and then Pharaoh's own daughter found the baby and then put him in the palace. And then one day when Moses was grown up, then he killed someone and then he ran away. And then a bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning down. Just keep firing and get fired. And then someone talked through a bush, and Moses realized it was God. So Moses said, "Let my people go." And Moses asked Pharaoh, and God did stuff, but it wouldn't work. So then, one thing they did was to put the blood on the doors of the Egyptian. The angels came and then passed over the blood. But the people that didn't have blood, they killed their own firstborn son. And then Pharaoh didn't have the blood, so they killed his firstborn son. So then he let Moses' God's people go. And that was the end of the story. The end. So that was in the Old Testament, and it was about Exodus. So this story tells how Moses listened to God, and then took God's people away, because they were actually slaves when there. So he wanted to let God's people go so they wouldn't be slaves anymore. And Pharaoh was the king of the Israelites. And that was the end of the story in Egypt.